Kamala Harris is clapping back over people who make fun of her horrible laugh. Some might even call it a cackle. You probably would call it a cackle. The left calls it a laugh. But then again, the right and the left, we just have different terms for things. The right, we try to be as accurate as possible. And the left, they try to speak things into existence, speak things into reality, things that are actually not true. They try to make true just by saying it. So they say it's a laugh, but we all know that it's a cackle. But Newsweek, of course, they are the same media company who just talked about the conspiracy theory that Donald Trump may not have actually been shot. Yes, they actually did an article on that. Big conspiracy theory by Blue Anon. You might have heard of them. But now they are running propaganda for the presumptive Democratic nominee, Kamala Harris. Yeah, you remember the one that went through the entire primary, got all those votes, got the 14 million votes. Wait a second. Hold on. No, wait. Actually, I was wrong. No, that was Joe Biden who went through the primary, got all the votes. And they just installed Kamala Harris with 0 votes, 0 primary votes. And of course, the Democrats, they are the party of democracy, right? Remember? Democracy. Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. But I digress. But now they are running propaganda for Kamala Harris. Look at this article by Newsweek, guys. Yes, this is real. You can Google it yourself. Kamala Harris reveals origins of her laugh. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, Newsweek. Most of America believes that it is a cackle. Let's just be very specific here. It is a cackle. It is not a laugh. There's a reason why people call her Cackling Kamala. Well, let's see what this says. Then we have a little video here shortly. A clip showing Vice President Kamala Harris recounting where her laugh comes from has resurfaced online. Yes, the clip we were all waiting for. We were all wanting to see this. Harris, who is the favorite to become the Democratic nominee for president after Joe Biden, announced he was not running. Okay, let's correct the record there. After Joe Biden was pressured into not running for re-election because he was old and senile, and the truth finally caught up to the mainstream media when they couldn't hide it anymore. But it has often faced criticism. She has often faced criticism for her loud and full-bodied laugh. Harris faced mockery for her laugh at a rally in Michigan on Saturday when former President Donald Trump told the crowd, quote, "I call her Laughing Kamala. Have you seen her laughing? She is crazy. You can tell a lot by a laugh. She is nuts." And of course, this is the popular take on Kamala Harris. She does not seem all there. I tweeted once, I was like, I would just love to take a look, just one little peek into her medicine cabinet and see what's going on in there, because this lady is wild. But in the clip from the Drew Barrymore show, which shows dates from late April, Harris tells the host, "Let me just tell you something. I have my mother's laugh." Oh, that's so sweet. Just love it. But let's take a look at this, guys. Let's go over there. Let's go watch it on X. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go over here. Hold on. So let me pause this. Okay. Let's take a look at this on X. Zoom in and let's listen to the origins of Kamala Harris's laugh. I know you guys all wanted to know this,
My staff, for example, sometimes they'll show me little things that just amuse me. Like, apparently, some people love to talk about the way I laugh.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I love your laugh.
Well, let me just tell you something.
I love it.
I have my mother's laugh. Oh. And I grew up around a bunch of women in particular who laughed from the belly. They laughed. They would sit around the kitchen and drinking their coffee, telling big stories with big laughs. I'm never going to be, that's just, I'm not that person. And I think it's really important for us to remind each other and our younger ones, don't be confined to other people's perception about what this looks like and how you should act in order to be. Right? It's really important. It's important.
How you should act in order to be. Sounds a lot like her quote where she says, "What has been unburdened by what can be unburdened by what has been." Or I don't know, guys. I don't know. But then again, I just fell out of a coconut tree. So what can I say? But of course, she talks about growing up with a bunch of women who laugh from the belly. So this is a actual news agency running propaganda for Kamala Harris. We've seen this just the past week after Joe Biden dropped out. we have the mainstream media, who all of a sudden went from attacking Joe Biden brutally. For years, they ran cover for this guy. For years, they said that he was smart, he was intelligent. They didn't cover any of the fact that he was declining very rapidly. Joe Scarborough went on it was like a 5-6 minute rant. It was 7 a.m. I think it's absolutely insane. He told his audience to go F themselves. And he said, I'm going to tell you the truth. F you if you can't handle the truth. And then he goes on a tirade about not Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, who is apparently cogent, the sharpest he's ever seen. This is the news media. After that debate, what happens? They realize that they can't keep Joe Biden in there anymore. They realize that Joe Biden's a massive liability. There's no way. So they have to switch to someone else. They were successful at getting Joe Biden pushed out as the Democrat nominee. They were able to get Kamala Harris, or presumptively Kamala Harris, in there as the nominee. That's what it's really looking like, believe it or not. And all of a sudden, this monstrosity in tandem, they turn around and they start pushing this propaganda for Kamala Harris. It's absolutely insane. All the way down to justifying her laugh, making people look at her laugh more favorably. And this is the same media company who just yesterday ran an article questioning the fact that Donald Trump got shot in the ear. And if you don't believe me, here it is right here. Donald Trump may not have been hit by a bullet, FBI director says. This is something that they're actually running. And this was not the original headline. The original headline was this one right here. This was on X, on Twitter. And they changed it from this. The original headline was Donald Trump may not have been shot after all. But it's very interesting when you have a media company who is very willing to talk about Donald Trump and this horrible thing that happened, this attempted assassination. Yes, I still can't believe I'm saying that. Donald Trump had an attempted assassination where a would-be assassin was able to get a piece of his ear. And they are questioning that. Yet, they come around and they talk about Kamala Harris's laugh, something as small as that. It's insane. But this is what this article says. FBI Director Christopher Wray said on Wednesday that it's not clear whether former President Donald Trump was shot or hit by shrapnel when a gunman opened fire at his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Then it goes into, of course, Trump was rushed off stage with a bloody ear. He said that night that he was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of his ear. A week after the shooting, the Trump campaign released a doctor's note from Trump's doctor, Ronnie Jackson, who had served as Trump's White House physician, that said Trump sustained a gunshot wound to his right ear that was less than 1/4 of an inch from entering his head and struck the top of his right ear. You guys have probably all seen the video where Donald Trump turns at just the right time. If he hadn't turned, it would have been a catastrophe, and it clipped his ear. And these are the same people who mock you when you don't take the official narrative, the official, like the science. When you don't accept the science on something, they mock you. When you question things that are coming out of the White House, these statements and the media who say X, Y, and Z is true because it came from this source. When you question that, they mock you. But here they are, the same media, questioning something as serious as an attempted assassination on a former president. Absolutely insane. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Mainstream media, of course, is coming out in full force against Donald Trump and is propagandizing the United States, the American people. And they're willing even to do a puff piece on Kamala Harris's laugh. Yes, that's how desperate they are. I believe that the media, the White House, Kamala Harris's campaign, their backs are kind of up against the wall. They are in a race against the clock. That's why you see them coming out with all these lies about Kamala Harris never being the border czar when she was very clearly attached to the border. They don't want her attached to something that catastrophic. But they have to blatantly and directly lie to the American people because they don't have time to craft a very careful narrative. I mean, you can go on social media and see the media then versus now. Then they were talking about Kamala Harris being the border czar. Now they're saying, no, she was never the border czar. What are you talking about? Same with the White House. Karine Jean-Pierre then, or the White House spokesperson then, was talking about Kamala Harris, being in charge of border functions and the border. And now, oh, she never had anything to do with the border. So I believe that their backs are up against the wall. I do believe that this is something we have to take seriously because the mainstream media, the corporate press, and the Democrat Party are a machine. They are in lockstep. So this is something we can't just laugh off like, oh, that's crazy. People are going to see through this. Not everyone sees through this, and not everybody wants to. But what do you guys think? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. But until then, I will see you on the next one.